Hey everybody, it's Rob here. The mid-season patch is gonna go live in Diablo 4 today. In just a few hours, around 7 p.m. CET or around 1 p.m. EST, we will get a ton of updates, and these mostly revolve around buffs to pretty much everything in the game. I'm gonna link the full patch notes below, but I wanna highlight here a few core changes for you and show you some of the cool new builds to play. So first of all, guys, glyph upgrades will scale way past level 100 pit. So that means you can actually 100% your glyphs all the way to 100. We're getting a ton of buffs, especially to Barb and Druid, and even to the Spiritborn. We're getting new Mythic Unique buffs, for example, to Andariel's Visage and other Mythic Uniques. We're getting a ton of Rune and Mercenary buffs. We are getting some quality of life for enchanting, and the Legion events now are dropping the crafting material. So this is going to be a nice way for you to farm iron chunks and also rawhide. But the most important, and I think the coolest thing are the new builds. So despite the Spiritborn being extremely strong already, we are still gonna get some Spiritborn buffs. And you can see here, this is the Razor Wings Spiritborn. It works like a boomerang or like a blast hammer in Diablo 2. Like that thing is basically spiraling around you, and a pretty cool playstyle here. That is fresh and new, and we're getting a ton of buffs for this. Cooldown buffs as well as massive damage buffs. And you can see this is like easily running pit 120 already, and this is without any of those buffs. So this build is getting probably about a 10 tier buff. It's going to get a ton stronger, and you can see you have like a ton of these Razor Wings charges. The cooldown is going to be lower, and the DPS goes up by about 50%. So this is like a very cool and unique build to play. I already made a video. I'm also going to link that and the planner. Like we have all these builds already built out here on the forwards. You can see if you go here in the description, I'll put this link below. You can see here kind of this Razor Wing build, and it gets a ton of love and a ton of buffs. And on top of this, we have the Toxic Skin build. This is like, you might know it as the Reverse Flash. The Toxic Skin is also going to get a buff, and this is how this build looks. You're basically permanently dashing. This is not based on evade. This is based on rushing claw, like the right click here, and this basically dashes you constantly, and this Toxic Skin deals a ton of AoE damage, and we're getting buffs to this Toxic Skin, making it even stronger. This is even a viable build for pit 150. You can see it here, absolutely shredding through pit 100. And it's a ton of fun to play as well, and this one gets a significant bump. You can do a speed runs of it with a rushing claw version, or you can do a bit higher pits. This is very similar to the evade flash build. It's just gonna get a ton stronger, and also can do 150 while maintaining some good speed, which evade cannot. You're basically rocking these wound drinker here with ranks to a Toxic Skin. You're also rocking a Toxic Skin on your boots. And that's basically what the build is revolved around, and it is very strong. And again, 150 should be no problemo with this. And then, as I mentioned, there is a ton of generic buffs coming also to druids and the boons. There's some cool druid builds such as Tornado that you can play. But what I'm looking forward to playing most, and this is like what I want to play myself a lot, is the Barbarian. We're getting some pretty cool changes to almost all of the Barbarian skills. I already made a video about this. Like, we're getting buffs throughout the board, and we are getting buffs to some of the generic stuff that the Barbarian has. And what comes to mind here is the Bold Chieftain aspect. You see this at the moment, it only goes up to 50% cooldown reduction. This is basically, you know, how you can maintain your shouts. You see I press my shouts and they get some good cooldown reduction. But what we're gonna get here, this is gonna go up to 50%. So if you already have a decently rolled Bold Chieftain, it's gonna get even stronger. And this is elevating the entire Barbarian class. And there are like some cool changes coming to the Decimator board. This one is basically gonna get double damage. And also to the Blood Rage, which is also going to go up to 45%. And you will need like 1 or 2 more tempers of Berserking damage. But this is also something every Barb build is using, and you're getting a ton of DPS buffs with those 2 upgrades here, making the Barbarian about like 5 pit tiers stronger, almost on every build, or at least a couple pit tiers. And then on top of this, we're getting massive core skill buffs. So core skills have been underused a lot. We're getting a ton of buffs. Hammer of the Ancients gets a buff, Upheaval gets a buff, Double Swing gets a buff, even Rend gets a buff. The only thing that they forgot about is Whirlwind, and I hope we're going to see these changes on Thursday. So in just 3 days, or in 2 days, guys, on Thursday, we're gonna have the Season 7 news. There's gonna be another Campfire chat yet again. So maybe we'll see buffs to Whirlwind. But what I'm looking forward to play is the Hoda Barb, for example. And this can already hit for some decent damage right now. So we're just gonna be here rocking on some target dummies. And what you can already do is, you might remember this like Barbarian spin to win build, and you can now add Hoda to it. You see it's already hitting for like 5 billion on the overpower side of things. There are 6 billion. And this can go like a lot higher, right? Like when you keep up all your buffs here, the damage is going to get a lot higher. So there is going to be a ton of fun with this build, I think. And this gets about double, triple damage. So we're going to be looking at like a 10 billion damage per Hoda hit here. And this used to be a fan favorite build where you spin and then you smash, basically. And then you basically overpower like after you spin enough and generate resources. So right now you see it hitting for like 3 to 5 billion. And this damage, according to my calculation, will roughly go up ×2, because you're getting all these buffs here. And it's just going to get very, very strong. And you're going to get quite some good DPS increase here. About 3 pit tiers base and just double damage. So we're going to hit for like 10 billion with this Hoda build. So I'm looking forward to play that. And even Whirlwind like doesn't get a direct buff, but some supporting legendaries and some Blood Rage stuff gets a buff. And there's another cool build. I might try Groundstorm. So the Hoda planners, I'm going to link that below. I'm probably also going to make a Groundstorm planner. They're buffing the Groundstorm a ton, which is also going to be a very nice leveling build, I think, for the Barb. But in general, Groundstorm is a super strong skill already, because you have a rune here that basically makes it deal 10x the DPS. And this got buffed even further in the patch. So yeah, looking forward to try that. Now we can make a build revolving around Groundstorm. And then obviously another very strong contender here is right now the strongest Barb build in the game, which is Mighty Throw, gets yet another buff. And you can see here with this build, you can already kind of hit. The Barb Nation is here. 10 billion again. Yeah, for like billions of damage already. This was like long ago. And this seems to be getting like about a 50% damage buff. So this goes up to like, yeah, all the way to like tens of billions of damage. I think I already like did like a 14, 15 billion hit. And that was like with not maximized equipment. So every like throw here is hitting for billions and billions of damage. And in the end, this gets about double damage as well. You see here, this is like 10 billion already. I think if I go a bit further in this clip here, this was just me hitting the target dummies. So obviously you can even go like much higher, because here you see 11 billion. So this is going to go up pretty crazy. We can see here Mighty Throw gets almost triple damage in total. So there's going to be a ton of stuff here. So this is going to be hitting for 20 billion. And I think that's already the build that is the highest right now. Yeah, here 125 has been cleared on this build. And this is the second highest after Spiritborn. So we're probably going to go up like 5 to 10 tiers, depending. There's some snapshot bugs. If they fix those, we don't really know. Same goes for the duplication bugs, for the masterworking exploits. We don't really know if there's going to be a ton of bug fixes for those. It doesn't really say in the patch notes. However, again, the glyph upgrades, the rune upgrades, also the mercenary upgrades are going to be very welcome and very cool to see. And we also have this, let me see if I find this on X. We also have this Campfire coming up. I think they already confirmed a time for this, for the next Campfire chat. That is happening. Upgrade will hit next week. This is the patch that hits today, basically. And well, the Campfire chat is going to be on Thursday, guys. So in just 2 days, on the 21st, alongside the Path of Exile 2 announcement, which we will also check out. So there's going to be a ton of news here hitting this week. I will have updates for you. But again, the patch hits here in a few hours. At about, like for me, it's going to be in about 7 hours for me recording this video. And for you, it might be even earlier. So about 7 p.m. CET, 1 p.m. EST. So noon in the US, early evening in Europe is what we are expecting for this patch. Again, this is not confirmed. It's just like when the patch usually drops here. November 19th, that's today. I'm looking forward to it, guys. We'll be live on Twitch. We'll be live here on YouTube. We'll be checking the patch. And I think I'm actually going to start with a Barb. I'm going to be checking the Hoda Barb. We're going to be smashing with the hammer. And we're going to have some fun, guys. If you want to stay updated with more news here, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm looking forward for some more news and finally playing some cool, fresh new patches. Still hoping for some new content. We'll see what Season 7 brings, and I'm expecting the PTR. Obviously, we'll learn about this in 2 days, but I'm expecting the PTR to start probably on the 3rd. So there's going to be a Thanksgiving. They said it's not going to be about Thanksgiving. So I think on the 3rd of December is when the PTR will start. That's just my guess. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you looking forward for the mid-season patch? I'll see you live on stream in a few hours. Take care, my friends. GG. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.